Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My respected brothers and sisters, Hajis and Hajjas. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Right, so we are on the 10th now. Right, so Fajr time. We're in Muzdalifah. We're going to pray Fajr over here. It was a beautiful night, nice night last night. And I hope you guys had a beautiful night as well. Now, one thing you have to remember, when you're in Muzdalifah, make sure, you see what this guy's doing? Make sure you pick up stones. Right, now if you've got a nice Hajj group that actually give you a pre-packed set of stones, you want to get 49 stones, right? So get yourself a bag and collect with a small little pebbles, 49 stones, because you are going to be using these stones to pelt the jamarat, right? So these big walls that you're going to come across, and you want to get these stones and you want to pick them up and you want to throw 7 at each one. So you're going to be throwing stones over the next few days. Right, so over the course of the next few days, you will be throwing stones, 7 each. So how much do you need? 49. Okay. Right, collected 49 stones. Right, I've got my 49 stones. Now what we're going to do, after we prayed our Fajr, we will now set off to go back towards Mina. So if you remember, when we actually I show you the map. Yeah, so this was the map if you remember. So we are in Muzdalifah. Now we're going to return back towards Mina. On the way towards Mina, this is where you have the jamarat taking place, right? So you have these big kind of stones where they call them the shaitans that you throw, right? That's where you're going to pelt the stones, right? This is the pelting area. So imagine this is Muzdalifah, right? The stones are going to be over here. These are the stones, and it's on the way towards Mecca. On this day, remember, you are going to perform. On this day, you will perform. So in the olden days, the stones were actually like this, right? So if I actually show you a picture of these, Jamarat stones. Okay, this is how it used to be in the olden days. These are like old pictures. So it's basically like a pillar, and from all sides, 360 degrees, people are pelting it. You can imagine how many people got hit. Yeah, and then they kind of like made it into this, right? As you can see in the middle. And then you kind of have like, it came a bit more advanced. You got it like this. Now it's become very sophisticated, right? It's become like a massive car park installation with multiple layers, and people just stand and just throw, and now it's very difficult to miss now, right? So you're going to do 4 things on this day, right? What are the 4 things you're going to do on this day? Well, number 1, you are going to be doing the stoning. So remember those 49 stones you picked up? Okay, you got those? Right. So now you're going to come to the biggest, so there's 3 stones, small, medium, large. You're going to go to the large one, and on this day you are only going to stone the large one with 7 pebbles. You take the pebbles and then Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. 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 7 times. Was that 7? Did I do it 7? 7 times you do it, right? So throw. Now, if you want to get some more stones just in case you actually lose some, might be a good idea. But anyway, you pelt 7. You've done your 7. So now how many stones have you got left? So you should have 42 stones left. And those 42 stones are going to be for the following days. Okay. So what's happened now? You've done your stoning, right? You leave from there. You're going to leave all this. You're going to walk back, and you're now going to set off towards Mecca, because what's going to happen is you're going to do your slaughtering of your animal. This is the second ritual that is done after the stoning. So these are the stones, as you can see, right? After the stoning, you are going to be doing the ritual of slaughtering. All right, so let me just try to find a nice image over here. Okay, so once you have done Muzdalifah, you will now do the slaughtering. Let's see if they've got a nice, beautiful image here. Yeah, pebbles. You get your pebbles. And you're going to go to the Mina. You stone. Oh, it's quite sacrifice. This is the second one. So you basically do your sacrifice. Now, normally what happens is you don't do your sacrifice nowadays. There's actually companies that actually do it for you. But if you want to do your own sacrifice, that's fine. You can do your sacrifice once the sacrifice is done. So, for example, when I went in 2009, the announcement was given, a message was sent to us on our phones that your sacrifice has been done. So that is the second ritual, the sacrificing of the animal. Now, if you are doing a Hajj, and watch my crash course of Hajj, and in there, or if you should have watched it before this actually, In there, I've actually explained about the different types of Hajj. So if you're doing a single Hajj with no Umrah, then you don't need to sacrifice. Step 2, you can actually skip out and you go directly to the next step. If you actually are doing a combined Hajj and Umrah, then you have to do a slaughtering. Right? This is called Tamattu or Qiran. You have to do a slaughtering. So you slaughter an animal. It can be a goat, a sheep, or it can be part of a larger animal, which you share with 6 other people. Now, once you've done step 2, then you go to step 3, which is the cutting of the hair. You cut your hair. So you get your hair. You can either shave all of your hair off, which I'm not going to do. Yeah. Shave all your hair off, or you can trim your hair. Trim your hair. At least, you have to cut at least amount which can go around your finger. Right? So you cut, right, at least a quarter of your head. I did do all of it. And for women, it's the same, where you just take your hair and at least the amount that goes around one finger like this, cut that. And there you have it. Yeah, you are now officially out of ihram. You can wear your normal clothes, right? You can put perfume on, you can chill. Okay. Now, one last thing left. And this is, if you want to have intimacy with your spouse, then there's one last thing that you have to do. And everyone has to do this anyway, which is to do the tawafs. So this is the official tawaf known as Tawaf Ziyarah or Tawaf Ifada. The fard tawaf that you have to do on this day today. So you have to go to Mecca and you have to go around the Kaaba 7 times. Now remember I told you about the sa'i, right? So if you have done your sa'i, then that's fine. You know, the tawaf is done. That sa'i is done. You don't need to do the sa'i again. But if you have not done your tawaf, if you have not done your sa'i on the 8th, then you're going to have to do your tawaf and your sa'i as well. Right? So you go 7 times around the Kaaba and you perform your sa'i and then you pray 2 rakats of the tawaf. And there you have it. Now you are officially out of ihram, fully out of ihram. You can have intimacy with your spouse. And now you've only got 2 more days left to complete of Hajj, minimum. You can actually have 3 days, but we will do 2 days inshallah. And that's it. So now, are you finished? Right, now get yourself back to Mina. You must get yourself back to Mina before Fajr. Right, so get your stuff and go back to Mina. And tomorrow I will see you in Mina again. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.